All right, all right.
What's up, Francisco?
Oh, man. You just got off another Zoom call, right?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. I was on with Christopher.
gotcha, okay.
Is that what the link said? What did the link say when you clicked it and you tried to join?
It said that you were in another meeting and it asked me if it wanted me to cancel it. So I was about to text you, but
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
sweet. Awesome. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, it is.
Happy Tuesday.
Yesterday was like a blur, man. I couldn't even believe yesterday it just flew by. I woke up and I was like, holy shit, it's 4 o'clock. It was a very good day though.
Hmm.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started here. Thank you all so much for jumping on. We got a special treat for you guys today. Uh, Francisco has actually volunteered. I know he's willing. This was his idea. This was his idea. I did not put him up to this, okay? But it was his idea that you guys could actually submit your live seller leads to him, and he will actually call those leads live for you on this call. All right.
Hmm.
So if you guys want, you can submit a lead. You can raise your hand in the chat, say, hey, I got a lead, give him some backstory, tell him about the notes, give him the phone number, and then he will actually call them live in front of you guys and begin to work the deal for you. This isn't a deal split. This isn't anything like that. This is pure educational and to help you guys get across the finish line with whether it's a difficult lead, a lead you haven't touched yet, someone you should have called a week ago, or whatever that is. Just make sure you do update Francisco as much as you can on the lead. That way he can go in as prepared as possible. Again, this was his idea. And I almost wanted to give him a big hug and a kiss whenever he brought it up. I was like, you would do that for us? You know? So I love it. So I'm gonna pass it off to Francisco. I'm gonna be here in the background hanging out. But yeah, so he's gonna rock and roll. And again, if you guys have a lead, feel free to take this time while I'm rambling right now and find that email, get their phone number, look up the notes. That way he is completely set up for success for his live seller calls with you. I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing this at least once a month. All right. And pretty soon we'll get on a cadence with it as well. So you'll know the third Tuesday of every month or whatever that is. That's what we're going to do as well. But all right, I'm going to pass up to Francisco. Francisco, again, thank you so much for
No.
doing this. And let's kick some ass.
Wait, let's get it. All right. So Benny, I see the first one up at bat, man. What's going on with those leads?
Man, I get excited when I get an opportunity like this. So thanks for doing this. I didn't even know today was even about that. So it's my lucky day.
No problem. You guys
All
are in.
right. So let me tell you a little background about this specific property. I usually would call up the lead right away, but this specific one, he said he's not ready for another 6 months or so.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know how to approach this. I don't know what to do with this. So I was thinking about that, and then I jump on this call, and boom, here you are.
Nice.
Uh,
How long
yeah.
ago
So,
has it been since you like contacted him and said and he told you?
my VA spoke to him yesterday.
Yeah, oh, yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. And he said he's not going to be ready for another 6 months.
Yeah. And then I have some notes that she wrote. I can tell you. It's like the reason he's selling is his wife is dying.
Oh,
The
okay.
property's never been listed. It has a 500K reverse mortgage. He would like to sell for more than 800.
Is this a house or a land deal?
It's a house deal
Okay. And what market is this in?
in the Seattle area.
Seattle. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I will say just by just gathering all of the info. Now, if he told your VA that he's not going to be ready for another 6 months yesterday, um, we might have to kind of like maneuver the conversation a little bit, we have to tread lightly because we don't want to come across as we're trying to be like, hey, you told us, 6 months ago yesterday. Did you change your mind yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, so we don't want to necessarily do that. But I am interested to know a little bit more about what topics you guys did not cover, and maybe we can try to get more information out of him. So that way we're not kind of like crossing any boundaries with his privacy.
Yeah, it's that's why I was a little apprehensive in calling, right? And
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm sure his wife is dying. Maybe he has a timeline on that
Mm-hmm.
that he's aware of. Maybe he doesn't want to sell it before
Mm-hmm.
she passes away.
Right. Okay.
Uh, that could be a possibility. But what I was thinking about, the reason why I raised my hand is, could there be an approach to where we 6 months down the road
Say that
somehow?
one more time. How would you approach it 6 months down the road?
Well, no, log it in today so that in 6 months he doesn't talk to anybody else.
Oh, okay.
Is that
That
is that possible?
well, it'll be difficult to avoid him talking to anyone else. But what I would recommend is staying on top of mind, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you got that type of sensitive information, especially about his wife dying, that's one of those things where that's kind of like before you even have a conversation, you just want to check in with him as a person, right? Because like the closest person to him is basically, on their deathbed. You want to make sure that he even has the mental capacity to even handle, you know, a cell like that, right? So as you touch base with him,
Huh.
I will probably position the conversation as just like, hey, I hope everything goes okay. Praying for your wife. Let me know if there's anything that I could do. Maybe get his mailing address, send him like a gift or something like that. So that way you stay on top of mind. And then when he's ready to have that conversation, you are the first person that, you know, he thinks of, as opposed to everyone else that's kind of like, hey man, just following up again to see if you're ready to sell.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
yeah.
his wife is like, so yeah, I would say just stay on top of mind. I would put that in an area, whether it's in your CRM or in your notebook or whatever the case may be. Put that in the specific place where you can like see him and constantly remind yourself at least once a month. Let me just touch base with him as a human being first, and then just generally build that connection. And then over the course of time, he will be the one who will bring up like, hey man, all right, so let me get rid of this property now. Let me just go ahead and, where I'm ready to do business with you now, type of thing.
Okay.
And one thing I would also, to accomplish those goals, is next time you speak to him, I think something that's really good is be like, hey, I would like to set up a cadence at which I follow up with you. Is it okay if I check in with you every 3 weeks? Like we're almost getting his permission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would be
Yeah.
one aspect. Another thing I would say is, hey, if it's okay, I got a couple of questions for you because within 6 months, I want to make sure you're a good fit, right? I don't want either one of us waiting for 6 months and then he doesn't talk to anyone else and holds out for you and then it's not a good fit and then you're following up with him. So what I would do in this guy's case is maybe wait a couple days before reaching out to him, and then when you do, you actually touch on those points like, hey, I just wanted to call, I got a couple of questions, I know you're interested in 6 months and you're dealing with a crisis right now, and I really want to respect that. A part of respecting that too is making sure that we are a good fit for when the time does come. I did get this up, this and this. Tell me what you would be open to. This would be a good time. What is creative finance an option in 6 months? What's the condition of the property? Can I get some photos sent to me so I can get a feel? I can get everything lined up, and then there's a chance when you're ready, I just plug it in, right? And then the deal's sold if we do this right. So one angle would be the aspect of preparation, right? Hey, I'm
Okay.
trying to help me prepare for this with you, right? And then the other one would be getting him to agree to a follow-up cadence. Hey, so if it's okay, I'll call you like the third Tuesday of every week of every month, right? Is that okay with you? We'll just touch base. If anything changes, I can move faster or slower. I'm okay if it's a year, right? You're not doing this and you want to talk like that because you're not doing this to apply pressure. You're not trying
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
a nuisance. But it's like if I could be of support, if I could do this. So that would be just my 2 cents on this. Um, for the sake of preparation, we just need to communicate a little bit more and create a follow-up cadence that they agree to, because then that's going to help, right? When you call them on a Tuesday and they previously agreed to it, they're way more inclined to answer your phone rather than you just calling them. And then tell them you want to schedule that because you don't want to bother him, right? What day of the week would work best for you? You know, so think in terms like that, because the more he feels respected during this time, the more he is going to avoid talking to other people, which is your other goal, right? And the only way I think you can really accomplish that goal is to make him fall in love with you because of how considerate you're being about his current situation.
And also with setting those times and making it personal, one thing you can help him with is, a lot of people when they're setting, different appointments or they remind themselves, they'll put the old rubber band around your wrist, right? So when you're setting that appointment, if you're saying, okay, is the third Tuesday of every month good? Do you prefer mornings or afternoons? Walking him into setting his mental schedule. A lot of people forget to set appointments with mental schedules because if people, when they're saying, hey, how about I call you next Tuesday? All they heard was next Tuesday, you're going to get a phone call. But if you set a mental schedule with them, all right, I'm going to call you Tuesday mornings or afternoons. Afternoons, that late afternoon, like 2 or 3 or 5 or 6. Well, 5 or 6, how's 5:15 sound on next Tuesday? So now most people will have to sit there and think and register. What do I have going at 5:15 Tuesday, next Tuesday? It's just a mental schedule that you can help that I've used for tricks for years. And then always call them like 5 minutes early. So they make sure they answer. But it's just a mental trick to help people schedule their time, rather than just being so general. And it's really still a personal touch. So that's just my little points on it.
Yeah, I appreciate all of your inputs, and for this, I think I'm gonna use the my gifts thing too. I think he's very vulnerable right now, so I'm just gonna just make that connection. Thanks.
100%. Sweet. All right, we got Brian. Brian, you got a 400 acre. You got a well on your hands, man.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that one. So
Okay.
obviously never dealt with that kind of volume or price range before. So I was like, what do I do with this?
What is your disposition strategy with this one?
Well, I haven't contacted him yet. So it just came through yesterday.
Mhm.
And they said he's got a bunch of, like, there's 14 separate tracks there that he could be sold separately. And so I don't know if I kind of basically create like an option for all the parcels and then basically sell them off as I find buyers. That was my first thought, but didn't know if there's a different way to go about it, or finding a buyer that does oil already for all 400. Yeah, that's why I'm glad you're doing this today.
Right. Now I am actually interested in calling this seller. I do want to see if Mason has, because I've never done like a 400 acre parcel, but I do want to get Mason's approach on this parcel as far as from a disposition standpoint.
Okay.
You want to list? Mason, would you approach this from like a listing standpoint, trying to get it under contract to like resell it and put it on the market, or subdivide it and title it?
I don't touch oil, gas, or mineral right stuff.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's probably smart too. Yeah.
Let's see here. And let me read more of the details.
Do you just not call him back then, Mason, or do you just say, hey, like, not interested? Or
I've never, I don't know, it's been years since I've mistakenly got like a oil or gas or mineral lead. All my leads are typically just vacant land.
yeah. Okay.
Like, I mean, the deal I'm working on right now is 200 acres, buy for 323, sell for 675 after minor subdivision. So those are ones that I do, love doing and do all day. But yeah, when it comes to oil and gas, that's a whole different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you're getting into the 7-figure mark. I mean, attorney fees on just the like actual contracts and stuff like that are going to be upwards of like 50 to 100,000.
Yeah.
Just to negotiate that, to ensure like proper conveyance of what those oil rights are and that kind of thing. So there's a ton of money to be made in it, obviously. But it's just something that it's not within the scope of my practice.
Okay.
Yeah. And Brian, just to make sure I'm reading this right, he
Yeah.
has an active oil drilling. Like, does he own the oil drilling, or is it
Yeah,
somebody?
it's on his property from what it sounds like it. They're, let's see.
Let's see if I can pull it up just so we can check it out.
Hey, Francisco, this is Carla.
Mhm.
Is this something that Anthony Ghana can help him with? Because you know, in Texas, they probably run into that kind of scenario.
Correct. Yeah, but I think this was in Anthony is in Texas. This is in New York.
Oh,
Yeah. That's correct, right, Brian?
Yeah, it's in New York.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you haven't spoken to this lead at all?
No, I was gonna call him today.
All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and get into it. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, appreciate you guys' help. I'm kind of inundated with leads from this campaign, so which is a good problem. So
Gotcha. That's a good problem to have.
yeah. My other question too, just real quick, like do you guys all email out most all of your offers, or do you guys ever mail any offers?
Only like me personally, I only do it after I've gotten interest and then I've gotten their email and then I email them their offer.
Yeah. So you've talked to them ahead of time to get all the extra details and do your research, that kind of thing.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Good.
All right, let's just go ahead. This is going to be a learning experience for me too. So I definitely
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah,
We're
it's
all
right
at the
on the
same
southern border of New York,
southern border of New York.
on the
I'm
west
trying to see
side
if I
of the
can pull it up I'm trying to get the parcel ID from the notes that you put. Is it well, no, that's probably the date. Sorry. Where's the parcel ID? You have the address as is this
I
just
don't have an
student land?
address. Yeah, well, I guess I do have it. It's just Simmons Road is the address, but do you see the parcel number on there?
That's the parcel number, the 42.00.
No, the APN down below.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, perfect. Do you know what county this is in?
It's in Chautauqua.
Perfect.
And it's a bit of an example of I have a couple leads too that have large acreages. And some seem to all have like a barn or some structure on them. I don't know generally, like in the past, I just always make one blanket offer for the whole thing, and obviously include cost of structures in my offer.
Mhm.
But like on all these larger parcels, how do you like get them under contract if it's a higher dollar so that you can parcel them out and resell them without bringing in private lenders, or maybe you have to bring in private lenders, I guess is.
Yeah, most of the time you would either subdivide them for the most part, you know. And I'm just looking at their county's assessor to see if they have any like map that we could pull it up on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I found it on Regrid there. If you guys use that.
I'm not familiar with Regrid, but I have heard of it though.
Okay.
See if we can pull
I
them up.
love it. Yes, Mason, that's a question for you then. Do you buy the properties outright in order to subdivide them?
Yeah, I was just responding in the chat, but
Oh, thanks, man.
I mean, unless you create a novation agreement with the seller, then yeah, you need to purchase the land and then go through either the minor subdivision process or major subdivision process for doing it. And then you can sell it. So
Okay.
all depends on your strategy, access to money and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's I'm actively looking for more private lenders too. So
Brian, it's not pulling up by parcel address, but what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just
Okay.
give it a call, and then we'll just go ahead and see what we
See
can
what
do.
he says.
I don't know if either you can pull it up on Regrid so we can have a map view while I'm on the phone with him.
Yeah, I have it here.
Go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Let me get it. Share. Here we go. It's moving slow. There we go. That's so that one's 63 acres. So then,
And this is just one of the parcels.
yeah, because he says 400 total. I'm trying to see which direction they go or which parcels are all his.
And then do any of them have road access?
They do, yeah. Yes, and paved road on some of them.
Nice.
Because this is the main one, but I'm trying to figure out which other ones.
Oh, so they're all like adjacent to each other, pretty much.
Some of them are, yeah. Well, yeah, they're all close together.
Okay, right. So,
I think this one has a road through it, but anyways, I guess we can start with the 63 acres and kind of see what he.
yeah, go back to that one, the one that had road access.
It's being really slow now on me. There you go.
And is this your main market right here?
Yeah, I do a couple different ones. I'm testing a few right now. I'm doing Northern California where I live, and then testing some New York and North Carolina markets too.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Perfect. I'm giving a call now.
Hello.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you? Am I speaking to Troy?
Maybe. Who's this?
This is Francisco.
Francisco?
Yeah, we're just giving you a call because you have spoken to one of my team members in regard to some massive pieces of land over there in New York that you were interested in selling. I just wanted to follow up on that conversation.
All right.
Sweet.
Maybe I want to sell it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My price is really firm.
No problem. I wouldn't take it any other way for the most part, right? It was very interesting. No, I said I wouldn't have it any other way because I was looking over the notes that you guys were having in the conversation, and you had
Okay.
about a $7 million asking price. Is that correct?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. And when I'm looking over the notes, this was a massive piece of land here. You were talking over 400 acres. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's somewhere in there. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. And then also just to clarify, you have an oil business on this piece of land by chance?
Yeah, and it encompasses them properties and several others. There's probably 1,000 acres of OGM's contingent.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. And then just real quick, just so I can gather all of this information, just so I can go ahead and pass it along to my partner who's very interested in this. Are you the only decision maker involved, or is there anyone that I should show the proper respect to else?
I have a partner.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you want to pull them in on this conversation, or?
No, I'll tell him tomorrow.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you guys were on the same page about, price and everything else moving forward. Great.
Yep.
Okay. And then have you guys tried to sell this piece of property before, or what does that look like for you guys in the past?
There's been individuals who want to buy little chunks, but I'm not splitting anything up. We've been in the area our whole lives, and if something, and we just keep buying, but I don't
Gotcha.
want to go the other way. I'm not selling it by piece by piece.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you kind of wanted to sell it off in all together, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Gotcha.
It's the only way I'd sell it.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, are you open to kind of, seller finance agreements for all of the pieces of land?
No,
No?
no.
Gotcha. Okay.
would-
So it's
I
one.
would do like 2 payments. That's probably the most I'd cut it up.
Gotcha. Okay. No problem. And then one of my other questions for you, as far as, you mentioned getting out of the particular area, is there anything that we need to know about the land? Like, what was your intended use, or anything that we would find in our due diligence that may affect the pricing by chance?
It's in New York State. New York State.
Right. No, yeah. Especially depending on what part of New York they're from, right?
Yeah.
Right, gotcha. Okay. Now, is it encompassing about what, 14 pieces of land total? Because it's gonna require a lot of due diligence on our part. So we just want to make sure that we're putting all the pieces together so we can have the most effective due diligence, so we don't waste your
Yeah,
time.
if you just look at the tax maps, anything that says Mark and Troy, Mark or Troy, and Johnson Drilling, it's all the parcels up there.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. And then how did you guys come across all of this? How did you guys come to ownership? Who did you buy it from and things of that? What's the backstory on these acres?
Just people want to sell it, and we were buying it to be able to drill on it and have our own oil wells and not pay royalties. That's why we were interested. We've never cut a piece of timber off it either. It is what it is.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, we've been there since 1980, and we've never cut a tree for sale.
Wow.
Some of it's really nice. I'm telling you, it's like a park.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, you basically have
it's not scrub brushland.
Gotcha. Yeah, you basically have a whole national park in your backyard in your ownership, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yep.
Gotcha. No, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty proud of what we got over there. We're not dirtbags.
Gotcha. Okay. And then now, as far as anything in the property, like, again, is there anything that we will find in our due diligence that would affect the
No.
pricing by chance?
No.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, I mean, we're under the DECs, we're under their watch all the time. So there's nothing there. I mean, they come and inspect us all the time, and yeah,
Gotcha.
you're not going to find anything.
Okay, sweet. All right. Awesome. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and gather this information over to my partner, and then we're going to go ahead and try to formulate an offer that we can kind of, present to you on the table. Let me.
There's no offers. It's that.
Gotcha. No, I definitely.
Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. If you're going to come out with a low ball, don't even do it. I won't
Right.
talk to you ever again.
Right. No, I definitely understand that. But what we're going to do is when we present our offers, we're going to present the flexibility that we have as far as what we're able to do. Obviously, you're firm on your price, which is definitely understandable. However, what we want to do in our offer is just highlight the terms that we would have in order to meet you at that price if it's doable. If we're not able to meet you at that price, then most likely you won't be able to hear from us. However, if we are able to meet you at the price, the only thing that we ask is that you just consider our terms if we are able to meet you at that price. Does that sound fair enough?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. What's a good email for you, just so I can go ahead and gather everything?
I don't really do a lot of emailing.
Okay.
I will give you one, but don't expect me to. I'm not going to email you back and forth all day long. No.
So in the
Are
event,
you ready for an email? I'll give it to you, but I'm not. If I don't respond, I'm telling you right now. I just don't do it very often.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So in the event that we do want to go ahead and present an offer, what's the best way to get it to you?
Probably this phone number.
Oh, okay, just give you a call.
Yeah, and then at that time, if you're ready, I'll give you my email and I'll look at
Okay, no problem. We could just go ahead and cross that bridge when we get there, okay?
it, right?
Okay, what's that email you were going to provide?
Okay, TAJISME
Mm-hmm.
1390 @gmail.com.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Troy. I'll go ahead and get started on our due diligence. And then if we are able to go ahead and move forward, you'll be hearing back from us, okay?
Okay, sounds
Awesome.
good.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
All right, Brian, you got your work cut out, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only 7 million.
Can I ask a silly question? So, so this is a business, in addition to land. Would it be appropriate to ask for like P&Ls and just like, I'm just trying to think about this a little bit more broader.
Yeah.
And would that be, because he's not just selling you the land, he's selling you the business, from what I understand. Is that something that's worth kind of exploring? Because if you're going to get funding, you're going to try to find people who wants to like invest in this. They're going to want to know, okay, this oil business, do you have P&Ls to prove that it's $1 million generating business? Again, I'm just thinking out loud.
No, 100%. I would definitely take that into consideration. That's why I asked Brian, what's his disposition strategy as far as, trying to get this to the closing table, because I'm almost positive that is something that whoever the buyer is for this property is going to want to see. And
Right.
it is possible something that, Brian might have to provide at some point in time in order to get it to the finish line.
Yeah, for sure. Especially it'll obviously affect the asking price, or I mean, what you
Correct.
offer to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then not even when I was talking to him, you could tell like he's very direct, very straight to the point.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, shit, like I've never dealt with someone that owned a 400 acres, so I don't know what I'm.
Well, but I feel like I get the same responses from anybody, even if it's like a 40-acre property. Like,
Right.
I want 100,000 for my property, even if it's worth 90,000, and like I'm firm on that, and it's like, what do you do like with that? You're like, nobody's gonna pay what you're asking. So like, even if you post it online, but
Right. Now, if he's legit and saying that it's, $1 million producing, right? I could see that maybe something that someone could be interested in doing or, pursuing, depending on how they look at it.
yeah,
But it's one of those things where you just kind of want to see their willingness to be flexible. Obviously, he's firm on price, but my rebuttal to that objection is, okay, well, you can be firm on price, but when we send you over our offer, it's our terms that we want you to review.
yeah, I
That's it.
appreciated that. Yeah,
So that way it's more so just kind of like, okay, it doesn't matter how you get the 7 million, because even one of the things he divulged and said was he's willing to accept two payments, splitting up.
yeah,
Right. So obviously we may be able to push the line a little bit there, right?
Yeah.
You extend the payments and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, your whole job is to get, and from his mindset, he's just worried about 7 million. Now, how we get you that 7 million, it has to be completely on us. You can't have your cake and eat it too. So
yeah, because I obviously doesn't realize what's involved in the purchase of this, of the
Right.
property from him.
Right. And because what I would recommend in your case, because there's 14 different I guess parcels or tracks involved. And obviously we know that now there's another person involved too. So you got to, make sure that you double check that part as well too. I would just try to do your due diligence on every single one if you can. Because it doesn't sound like I think he said he's not trying to sell them with individual.
Nope, doesn't sound like it.
Right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably say maybe a 3 or 4, right? He is willing to play ball, but you're gonna be playing some hardball with him, clearly.
Yeah.
And this is a big parcel of land, so yeah. Sweet.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No problem. All right. got any more? Or anyone else got anyone else they want to talk to that is not 400 acres? Brian, but this the first time around.
Give you a good one to start. Yeah.
Right.
Francisco, this is Curly. You did a fabulous job. I like how you handle, handle this guy. Yes, he's playing hardball, but you did a wonderful job.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you. Thank you. This
I
is
definitely
great.
was nervous handling him.
I would have been more nervous than you. So thanks.
Yeah. I think one of the things is after a while you start getting into it, and then once obviously he has some form of interest, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've learned over the course of just calling and cold calling in general is you want to be able to just pick up on people's tones, people's personality types, and then also try to gain as much information as you can without trying to be too pushy. And then just keep going after that. So
yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody else got some leads they need me to talk to?
Francisco?
Yes, sir.
I had a lead today I hung up with. I don't know, would it be too fast to call him back?
It depends on what you guys were talking about before you guys hung up.
He didn't like my price.
What
And,
price
he
did you
doesn't-
get him at?
He doesn't have much motivation to sell, but he said he's getting calls. He's just he's trying to see what's the highest price he can get.
Oh, okay.
He's one of those deals.
Got you.
But I liked a lot. I like where he's at. I definitely if I can nail a number down with him, I want to lock this thing up.
Where's it at?
Port St. Lucie. It's an 11,000 square foot lot. And a
That's right on
nice, it's an infill lot.
All right, what you need? What price you need them get them at?
So it's the street sells for 450,000 to 550,000 range, single family homes.
Oh, this is a house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Land. No, lot. It's a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I need to be at 130, and then ideally I'd like to be at 130. I told him all cash, cover all closing costs net to him. I could go up to 140 and then assign it for 150.
Right.
But those numbers are pushing it. I'd rather be at 135. I mean, it's a good price. If you were to go on the market and put it on that price, you would have to mark it up by 10 grand, pay all the closing costs, and be at that same number.
Oh, okay. I mean, I got a buyer that will take it right now for 150.
Really?
In Port St. Lucie.
You do?
What price did he reject though?
130, he knocked me out. I was hoping I would get a counter offer.
Oh,
But
okay.
he didn't counter me. So I started at 130, and I was gonna work up a little bit from there, but he shot me down too fast. But he came into the conversation like he doesn't know the price.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and look some more. Florida, Port St. Lucie's in St. Lucie County. All right, what's the address?
Address?
Yeah.
Hold on one sec.
And while you're looking for that, yeah, I need to get up on Regrid. I've heard a lot of things about it, but I just never looked into it.
What is Regrid?
It's like a place where you could look up parcels or land or these type of properties.
I got you.
Yeah,
I just use
the GIS mapping system that every county has.
Mhm.
Regrid, you don't have to go into the specific county to find it. You just type in any parcel across the whole country and generally is able to find that parcel.
Is it free?
They do, yeah, they have a free version and you don't have to pay. There's also a $10 version and you get like elevation and contours and floodplains, all
Oh,
that.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah, it's like $10 a month. It's
And it works in every county, you say?
yeah. I think Nick actually has a referral link somewhere
Or does he? Okay, I'll look around for it.
on his website.
Francisco, you ready for the address?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
It's 5213 Northwest Piper Circle.
We got another Troy right here. 5213.
Yeah, Troy.
Wow. Two Troys back to back. Look at that.
So something's gonna click today.
Yeah.
So you good on the address there?
Sir, I'm about to call him. What's his info?
772.
1 second. Last call him, so he probably will hit me with that. He might reference you.
Exactly. I'm sure he will.
All right, I'm about to call him now.
Hello.
Hello, hey, good afternoon. How are you? My name is Francisco.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I was looking to speak with the owner of on West Piper, the vacant lot on West Piper.
Well, you guys are on a roll today, man.
I don't know if this is my first time contacting you. I don't know if you got a call with somebody else though.
My fifth one today.
Oh man, so you must be on a hot streak. You're in high demand then.
I guess so. I used to get texts all the time, and now I get phone calls outright. So, what
Okay.
you got, man? What you got?
All right, man. So I might be separating myself from the bunch then, right? Do I get some
Maybe.
cool? I get some cool points for that, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Awesome. So I was just calling because my company had just bought some pieces of land around in the area. And then we were just calling other vacant landowners to see if they're either considering an offer or interested in selling by chance.
I mean, it's all about money, I guess. What do you offer?
Okay, awesome. So typically, it ranges based on lot size, but yours is a corner lot. So I know that's not going to come with just easy price or, an advantageous price as most other offers that we've given out. But I just wanted to see, if you had a price in mind and maybe if we can work with it, we can go ahead and move forward.
I mean, I've been offered a size 160.
Gotcha. And you turned that down?
I did.
Wow. Okay. Is there any particular reason why, or is there any number that you look? Because I don't want to waste your time. And if you've turned down 160, what would be the price that would move forward? Because 160, that's what lots are selling for, pretty much.
That's pretty damn close, I will admit. It's pretty close. But see, I'm not paying closing costs and all that too. So there's a few bucks there. That
Gotcha.
deal was not including closing costs.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we've done this. This wouldn't be our first rodeo where we've paid closing costs. So that's definitely understandable.
I'm gonna have to do 1031.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're looking to get something of equivalent value, is that correct?
Equivalent or better.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I will say this though, because obviously depending on the title company, closing costs isn't cheap. And if if we're going to give, we want to receive just a tad bit as well too. Obviously we want to make an advantageous offer, but we don't want to make an offer that's causing us to make bad investments if that's the case. So we have no problem. We have no problem paying closing costs, title fees, and making sure that the number that we agree to, that's what you walk away with. But my question to you is, in the event that we are able to cover all of that, what's the best you could do on price?
Are you gonna have to be 160?
160?
At least, yes.
Would you be comfortable doing 160 if you cover the closing costs?
No, sir. I've already turned that down.
Wow, okay. Gotcha. I mean, there has to be some type of, because it doesn't sound like we're very far off, right? We're definitely in striking distance to do business with each other, and I would hate for us to get off the phone and not do business with each other just because we can't agree on terms. I understand that you may get a lot of phone calls and text messages, but if you're wasting your time with tire kickers, how can you ever find your Prince Charming, right?
Well, I mean, and you'd be 100% right if I had this thing out there on the world listed, but I don't.
Gotcha. Okay. So there's no, like, you're not necessarily looking to sell, but if someone bites at 160, you'll move forward.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well,
All
like I
right.
said, I don't have for sale. These are coming to me. I don't have anything posted anywhere. So
Right.
that's how I'm coming to this consensus. I always look at housing. I know Holiday for the
Mhm.
lots out there where I'm at. The Holiday, if you get a Holiday house with a lot in Torino,
Mhm.
you're gonna pay upwards of 190. Now
Right.
that's gonna be cleared, but this lot's cleared. This lot's got 5 oak trees on it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, on that same street nearby, I mean, we bought lots for like 145, and then, I mean, the clients built it with Holiday as well too. So, I mean, we're definitely very familiar with Holiday and the other builders that, buy in the area. But I'm actually curious to know, like, if the people that offered you 160, were they able to provide proof of funds by chance?
I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay. So you don't even know if they were actually legitimate in their offer then, right?
No.
Gotcha. I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe not,
gotcha. I mean, honestly, the best we could do moving forward is 140. We could provide your proof of funds and close in about 30 days. And again, we'll be able to cover your closing costs and, title fees and things of that nature.
All right, no, I'm listening, but that's not gonna get it today.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, there's always tomorrow. That's why I love tomorrow. So, I mean, if you would consider 140, we could put something in writing for you along with proof of funds. And then what we could do is we can go ahead and send you some references of people that we've done business in the past with. And then, whenever you feel ready, you can go ahead and sign on the dotted line. Maybe I can take you out, give you a nice steak dinner, treat you, spoil you a little bit, just playing. But definitely something to consider and have in writing, right?
Who is your title company?
The title company that we use is HB Title.
HB Title?
Yep, HB Title. Yep. And then we've used other title companies as well if you want to use them as references as well. But again, all of this will be in writing. So if you do want to consider it, what I could do is I can either, depending on how you want to receive this offer, I can either email it to you or I can mail it to you. I prefer email because honestly, it's a lot easier. And I don't want to depend on the mailman losing the mail or sending it to the wrong address. But what I could do is if you want me to take down your email address, I can go ahead and send you an offer for 140. And then again, no pressure. You could just have it in your back pocket. And then whenever you're ready, you could just reach back out.
All right, fair enough.
Okay. What's a good email address for you? Awesome. Great. So I'll go ahead and get that situated over to you. I'll have one of my colleagues send you over an email with the offer at 140. And again, whenever you get to it, you can get to it. And then, whenever you're ready, we can do this dance.
Okay, man. What's your name?
My name is Francisco, like San Francisco.
All right. Do you have anything else to do with this besides what you're doing now?
In regards to what? Can you be more specific?
Do you actually close these deals, or you just kind of hook the deals?
Oh no, we actually source and fund the deals.
Okay.
Yeah. So my partner Dan.
I get calls and people call me back after, and then I get to talk to somebody and find out they don't have anything to do with it.
Right. No. Yeah, I definitely understand that, which is why why I asked you if the other people had proof of funds, because that obviously people get numbers thrown at them all the time. But we definitely want to separate ourselves from everyone else and make sure that, again, that we mean business and we can get to the finish line.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay, man.
Great.
Go ahead, send it over and I'll think about it.
Awesome. No problem. And just real quick, just as I'm writing up this offer, I just want to make sure I'm putting everyone's name in the contract. I believe it's you and your wife that owns the lot, correct?
That is correct.
Gotcha. Okay. And then she's on the same page as you with moving forward, as long as you guys both agree.
She wants more money, sir.
Okay. Hey, I already know that. I already know how that goes. I have one of those things. I have a wife as well too, so I already know how that goes.
I'm the reasonable one.
Gotcha. Okay. No problem. So I'll go ahead and send that over to you so you can go ahead and chat it over with the wife. And then, yeah, I'll just follow back up with you at a later time just to see if you got a chance to view that offer, and then we can just go from there. Okay.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Boom.
At least he'll consider 40.
Wow. All right.
Oh, there you go, Dennis.
Great.
That was a very good call.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you.
amazing.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. That's really good to see.
No problem.
I
really-
do have a question though
Wow,
in here.
another great one.
He
Awesome.
shot me, when I asked him his price, he shot me down. He'd even have a number for me, so at least he had a number for you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just talk to people. Clearly, I don't take the calls too serious. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just kind of like if it doesn't work the first time, just try again and just go.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
Francisco, on this call you said gonna close this, like you made it sound like we're not all selling it. How confident are you in that process? Like more so for Dennis, right?
Yeah. So specifically in Port St. Lucie, it's only because I know Port St. Lucie relatively well. So as soon as Dennis told me the price that he offered, and I already know what I could sell it for already based on a relationship that I have with the builder. So it's more so just the confidence of knowing like, okay, if he agrees to 140, I already have someone that I've sold lots to for 150. So, that's a 10 grand spread right there. So that's mainly where the confidence comes from.
Okay.
And then if you had to double close or use some type of transactional funding, that's, that could be doable. On some of the assignment agreements, depending on the title company, some title companies just do blind HUDs. So they'll just send the seller their side of the HUD statement, and then they don't see, the assignment agreement or anything of that nature as well too. So yeah, so he was very firm at 160. Right. He's a little bit more reasonable to play ball with. Obviously, this is not his first call today. He clearly said he had 5 other calls, right? Or he gets a lot of text messages, which is why I always encourage people to, texting is a good entry, but calling is where you'll really start getting the quality and extracting the information that you need from the sellers, right? And then, he was at 160, and then I got him to at least consider 140. So Dennis, worst case scenario, you send him the offer at 140. If he signs it, you in the game, right? And then if he doesn't, at least you're giving him something that separates you from the other people. Because one of the questions that I asked him, did anyone hear? One of the questions I asked him about the other offers that he got.
Yeah.
Proof
Did
of
they
funds.
give you a proof of funds? Yeah.
No. Okay. So then my response to him was, okay, so you don't even know if they were serious then.
Yeah.
Immediately already. So Dennis, clearly I would say just send him the offer at 140, see what he does with it. And then just put him in a place, whether it's in your CRM or whether it's in a place where you can just, I don't know, notebook or something.
Yeah.
And mark him down as someone to constantly follow up with. You can even reference Francisco, be like, hey, you spoke to Francisco, you said you consider 140, yada, 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 and then just go from there.
Nice.
Yep. And shout out to Mason for the alley hoop on the Zillow too. Like Mason just was like, boom.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Great assist, Mason.
Right.
That was good.
It's just data for the conversation of where are you getting this 160K number? The lot next door to yours sold for 145, dude. Like, and that was on market. And then realtor commissions are typically going to be 10%, and then another 2% in closing costs. So they're netting, 125 grand on this. So the more data you can have in the conversation to like give an intelligent offer, I mean, that's exactly it. Like I was mentioning before of that 200 acre one, they wanted 1,900 an acre, and I'm offering 1,615 or 1,623 an acre or something like that. It's just 85% of what they want, because I know that the market price per acre after subdivision is like 3,200 an acre. So it's just the more numbers you can have in the conversation, and just like Francisco did of, hey, in Florida, I have Ochoa and Rubio or whatever my attorney is down there. Call Christina. I've done dozens of deals with her. She'll advocate for me. I'll have my banker send you proof of funds. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Even if your intention is to double close, just acting like the end buyer makes you so much more legitimate.
And also to Mason's point, if you already are aware of your disposition strategy, that boosts your confidence already 10x, right? Because you already know, like, the likelihood of me selling this deal is going to have me go down this avenue, right? Not that there's anything wrong with like getting it under market value price and then relisting it and things of that nature. But it's one of those things where it's just kind of like put things in your corner that could build your confidence, right? Whether it's your reference sheet, whether it's your knowledge about the particular market that you're in, whether it's the builders or the relationships that you have already lined up. I would definitely say just put things in your back pocket that could boost your confidence and make you, position yourself as the expert in the conversation as much as possible, right?
When he mentioned 1031, would you offer seller financing?
No.
Or no?
Nah, I don't think so. Because most of the times when people do 1031s, they're like deferring the taxes so they can go ahead and purchase either another property or things of that nature. Me personally, I don't like, and this is, I want to double check this, but I don't think a 1031 has anything to do with the buyer. So that'll just be anything. That'll just be all on him if he did a 1031. So that'll be between him and the title company.
Okay.
Yep. Anything else that you guys point out or seen on that call that you guys could use for yourself or when you
Can you
guys?
text?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask you if you could send me his email. I wasn't able to get it while you were talking to him.
What I would do is I would probably watch the recording. I was definitely leaning on the recording to get his email. But, sorry about that, Dennis.
No problem.
hey, Francisco, this is Carla. Hey, okay, so I'm a newbie, and if I get a call like that where they're asking, what title company I use, et cetera, what should my response be? And then you mentioned, okay, I have proof of funds. Do I need to do something in advance so I can have that available?
So if you're getting started and you don't necessarily have any rapport built with any title companies, what I would do is I would just come up with a reference sheet of people that can either attest to your character or people that you've done business with in the past. I wouldn't say it doesn't necessarily have to be real estate related, but just business that you've done in the past. So then that way, when you're having conversations, you can reference and say like, hey, I can send you over a reference sheet of people I've done business with that can attest to, my character as a person and that I actually follow through. And then just start off with that. My first deal that I did ever, like when I first started, like 5-6 years ago, that's what I did. And the person called every single, she just so happened to want to, make sure everything was legitimate. She called every single person on that list.
So what if it's not somebody I've done business with? Any other suggestions? Because I haven't done any business with anyone. I mean,
then if you haven't done business with anyone, then I probably wouldn't use the reference thing at all. I wouldn't use it at all. What I would do is just more so lean on the fact of like, I don't know. Mason, do you have anything that could be like starting off as a replacement for a business reference?
I would just say that I'm not self-closing. I'm going to use X title company to close the deal, and I fully insure every purchase, that type of thing. So I don't even think anyone's ever called any of the title people that I've done except whenever we actually open up. But I mean, I send that as like an FAQ sheet with any deal that I do. So I think just having and knowing which title company you're going to use for the transaction is probably sufficient. And if you're not going to use a title company, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. I would never recommend not fully insuring a purchase. That's how you get sued.
No, as far as like a reference though, like if she hasn't done business with anyone at all.
I wouldn't frame the conversation as having a reference. I would just use it, the exact same language that you're doing of if we move forward with this transaction, we're going to use this title company. And I can provide proof of funds. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I just wouldn't use the reference comment.
Yeah.
Okay. I
And
like
then,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and then as far as your question for proof of funds, there's many like resources out there that you can use to get proof of funds, and they will actually provide it for you if you need it. But there's a company called Straight Line Funding. They're actually like lenders, but they also do transactional funding as well. So if you ever needed transactional funding, you can go to Straight Line Funding. This is not an affiliate link. They just literally just, let me show you their website. You can even go directly. Click on, let's see where their products is at. Transactional funding, and then proof of funds. And then you just read their POF offers and things of that nature. You start. Then once you submit their survey, they'll send you the proof of funds to your email. And then I'll also put it in the chat.
Do
This is
you do
another
that?
amazing topic. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do you
Go
do
ahead.
that with most of your offers? Like, do you send the proof of funds with the offer, or how do you do that?
So when I'm dealing with a seller that has throughout the card of I've gotten other offers,
Yeah.
when I first hear that, like the inner me tells myself that's irrelevant. But in order to kind of like steer the seller's attention from all of those other offers, is try to question the seller and say, well, did you do your due diligence on those offers? Did it come with proof of funds? Did they actually put it in writing? Right? If it's not in writing, the golden rule in real estate is if it's not in writing, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You don't even know if these people are actually serious or they're just trying to throw paint on the wall and see what sticks. And so that's my objection handler when people say, oh, I've gotten other offers. Okay. So that's kind of how you kind of like reposition and take their attention from other offers to focus on this offer that I'm giving you. And then that way they at least have something to tell the difference about. Now I will say this though, and this is for everyone. Like on higher purchase price, I probably wouldn't do that. Like maybe on like 2 million and up or 1 million up, like those hefty, big deals, I probably wouldn't do that. But for like the infield stuff, like the smaller stuff under $1 million, then I would probably say like, okay, give them proof of funds, right? And then it just adds more credibility in the sight of the seller to you because all of the other people didn't take the time to do that extra step, let alone put it in writing, right? My whole style and my whole objective is to make sure, and this is also how I track who I've given offers to, is let me get your email, let me make sure you get the offer, get to it at your own time, no rush. And now I have a visible way to track, okay, these are all of the people that I've sent offers to. Let me go follow up. And then that's your source of follow-up, right? So that way you're kind of creating an internal system of like, okay, great, these people, let me keep an eye out on. And then if they sign a contract, great, you move forward and you keep going. Sweet.
Very cool.
All right. I know we went over a little bit, but maybe we have time to squeeze in one more if you guys have time for it. Just one more. If anyone else has any other leads. If not, then we can wrap up. But
I have more if you want, if no one else wants to go.
No more 400 acres.
I know. I was like, I have a few more, but they're more normal, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, give me one more, Brian.
Okay, let me pull it up here. I'm in the middle of a campaign right now, and so like, do you want one that's like, he didn't really want to answer the questions of the cold call, he just says, here's my price, and there you go.
We could deal with one of those again. I mean, and honestly, guys, those are kind of like the hardest ones to kind of push through and get through, just
Yeah.
because for the most part, we're just talking about grass and dirt. It's not like it's houses where you have things to kind of anchor them on and things of that nature. But this is part of the reps. And honestly, I would honestly encourage you guys to like do a lot of those calls with the sellers that are firm on price, because like me personally, I've never been a big fan of scripts, right?
Okay.
I've always understood going into calls that there's a particular objective that I need to accomplish. Not saying that scripts are bad, but I understand that, okay, it's almost like boxing, right? If any of you guys have ever watched or done boxing training, you guys will see, like, if you always anticipate what your opponent is trying to do and you're very stiff, it's harder for you to move around, right? And I feel like it's the same thing with conversations, where like I'm not anticipating what the seller is going to tell me. I'm just going to respond accordingly to whatever they give me, and then I'm gonna try to work with that. And I found that doing that, that's where I note take my objection handlers, right? Because sometimes you may say things that, okay, man, I didn't even know I was going to say that. And then I remember, write it down, and I'm like, okay, I'll use that one next time. And then just a constant repetition of having these hard conversations and trying to complete a certain objective, which is, let me see if I'm able to position a conversation to get them open enough to be willing to receive other offers, or at least give me information so I can present them more offers. And then let me see if I can get them to get to a point where they're considering what I'm able to offer them. So
Yeah, that's good.
it's
Yeah.
like, what area is this? Another one in
This is North Carolina. Yeah, it's outside Asheville.
Asheville. Okay. What county is this in?
This one is Madison.
Madison. All right, give me 1 second. Bum, 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 bum. North Carolina. North Carolina is not a non-disclosure state, right?
No, you can do double closes. Is that what you're saying?
No, like they disclose the pricing of sales, right?
Yes. Yep.
What county is it? I'm sorry.
Madison.
Madison. Sweet. All right, let's go ahead. And if you guys want, you guys can also jot down this website called Netter Online. It's just pretty much like a quick shortcut to any property appraiser website in the country, anywhere in the US.
What was that again?
Netter Online.
Okay.
Put it in the chat. Just so you guys can have it too. All right, now with this one, this is land or house?
It's
This
vacant land, yeah, but there's like nice houses in the neighborhood, so.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, when you're doing with your land deals and your business, like what's your main disposition strategy? Are you looking to like wholesale it, put it on the
Yeah.
market?
Always wholesaling, yeah. For now, I mean, I want to try to set up, a lot of owner carries, that kind of thing down the road, but need to build capital first.
Gotcha. We put running. Okay, we already got his email address.
Yeah.
Depending on the offer, isn't needing to sell it. Oh, that's always a key word. Asking 100,000 total million cent. What are the comps selling in that area?
You know what? See, I probably should have looked that up already.
Not to look it up right now. GIS, let's register of deeds. Each county is going to be different. And this is what I like to, this is actually my favorite part because I've never done anything in North Carolina, but learning at the same time. But this is fun for me too.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay, no, this is our teams. This might not be it. Let me go back to Netter. Let's try the GIS. Parcel mass. Open map wheel running. Okay, boom. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Addresses. If not, you can put it up in regrid maybe.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they have cell information in there too, but I guess I generally use Zillow for comping, but
I just want to get a nearby. Open. Oh, I think we found it, guys. Okay, boom. Uh-oh. I think we found it, guys. See what the power of researching does. 961 isn't it? Ka-ching! All right, so now where we're looking at. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't let me scroll up and down. 0 Default Street.
it looks like he bought it for 116.
Notes. Of course, then I don't have any titles. I'm trying to find a way where we can. Oh, and he stays in Arizona, or at least his mailing address is. Okay, so this is not giving us the information I thought it would. Let's try historical areas, maybe.
And you're just looking for recently sold comps.
Looking to see what it looks like on the map, so that way I can kind of try to look at other nearby houses and see what the comps are looking at, or what the comps are looking like. Have you pulled it up on your regrid?
Yeah, I have it on.
Okay, try pulling it up on regrid real quick.
Yeah.
You can share your screen real quick.
Okay, there you go.
And then this is it in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's almost 5 acres. All right now, babe.
Use that house right in front of it.
Yep.
What's that house address?
That is loading. That is 0 Default Street.
Oh, actual street. Is that the house though?
Yeah. It says on Smoky Mountain Trail. I'll try this other one. "145 Waterfall Trail."
Second. That was Waterfall Trail.
145. So I'm not seeing, I guess it's never been sold. They built it.
What's the zip code on that?
28753.
Okay, and this is North Carolina, right?
Yep.
Well, at least we got some type of a starting point. What I would do is I would further investigate this either with a realtor. We're still gonna call him live though.
Yeah, and he wants 100,000, and I think it's max. It's probably worth 100,000. From I was looking at a little bit ago, but he didn't really have great comps yet. So
How many acres? This is 5.
yeah,
Let me look at the sold real quick. On times. Oh, he's pushing it, man.
yeah.
You got 2 acres sold for 58,000. You got 1 acre sold for 40. You got 43 acres sold for 175,000.
Yeah.
I want to get more specific because this zip code. This is was the property in Marshall, North Carolina?
Marshall, North Carolina.
It's like a pretty big zip code though.
Yeah.
I want to get more specific on which part of the zip code he's on, just because. Yeah, 165.
28753. Yeah, that's his.
Yeah, 28753. Yeah, 4 acres.
Oh, it says on his side of the street, he's in Hot Springs, North Carolina.
Hot Springs, okay. Let me look at Hot Springs.
Is that,
okay, now we're a little bit more closer. We want to just try to get as close as possible to the vicinity of that. I mean, Hot Springs still is huge, but what I'm looking at right here, based on the 68 results, you got 15 acres sold for 55,000. You got 2 acres sold for 30, 11 acres sold for 37. So I wouldn't say that this is necessarily like a lead that's like bad, but this is a lead that I wouldn't spend too much time on. And the only reason I say that is because it's very difficult for you to find a solution for him, even if you weren't going to wholesale it and say like, hey, I'll list it on the market or give it to a referral for, an agent or something like that.
yeah.
Like he's asking for it doesn't seem reasonable enough to be of service to him.
Actually, that was part of my question too. So I'm like, not that it's a bad lead, but just like how to.
Right.
You're saying like he's just not even in the ballpark, so it's hard to even.
Yeah, because you got 8 acres for $80,000.
Yeah.
And
yeah, his it looks like it's on a hill. It's kind of a view lot, but
right.
I don't know if it justifies that still.
But nonetheless, let's talk to him and see.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and where's the who was the note taker? Jade. Hey, shout out to Jade. All right, 9 to 8. What it is 6. Can you read off the numbers for me? So I'll bring it up.
928 699 5888.
Okay, perfect. What's his name? William Chancellor.
William. Yeah.
Hello, Walker.
Hey Walker, how are you? It's Francisco.
Who's this?
This is Francisco.
Francisco. How do I know you?
You don't. I was calling about the parcel on in Hot Springs, the vacant land that you were asking about 100 grand for. Yeah,
what can I do for you, Francisco?
Yeah, I was just calling to see. You spoke to one of my colleagues, Jade, about it, And I was just calling to see if that, if we can kind of like get your thoughts on the offer for that piece of property.
Maybe, yeah, you guys just keep calling, but I'm not seeing any offers. And I gotta take this other call, so I gotta run. See ya.
Okay. Oh, well, you had to take another call.
Right?
Okay, so yeah, I would say put him as on a scale of 1 to 10. I would probably rate this lead probably like maybe a 2, 3,
Yeah.
maybe 3,
Yeah.
3, a solid 3. And the only reason is based on the notes and just briefly talking to him, it doesn't sound like he has like anything external that will cause him to be like, I got to get rid of this right now.
Right. Good to know. Yeah.
Was his note? Was it a 928-699? Oh, he just texted me and said 110. Send the offer.
Oh, that's what he said?
Yep.
So there you go. He's even raising it.
So oftentimes, and this is the last thing that I can probably leave you guys with. Oftentimes, especially in the land space, the best thing that we could do is figure out what are their external motivating factors that are causing them to even consider this, right? And there's 2 ways that we could do that. 1, we can obviously ask questions, or 2, if they're willing to talk to us long enough, then that has to be a very big indicator that there's something pressing that has gotten them to the point to say, you know what, I no longer want this thing anymore. So for the gentleman that we spoke with for Dennis, the fact that he was willing to entertain this conversation, even though 1, he had other offers, and 2, he was asking an enormous price. He may be able to put on this front like, oh, I got other offers and stuff like that. But the fact that I was able to get a 5-10 minute conversation from a complete stranger that I've never spoke to, clearly that has to be an indicator that there's something either soon to come or something that's pressing that's currently happening now that has gotten them to say, you know what, I bought this thing before. I was going to do this, but now I just want to get rid of it. Let me just get up on the right. So just keep that in mind as well too. There has to be something external that's causing them to say, I want to sell. And if we can't figure that out by those 2 methods, then most likely they're not motivated. So
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Thank you, man. That helps a lot, even on knowing where to spend my time and where not to.
no problem. I'm glad I was able to at least showcase you guys that, wait, no, this is a reminder. Showcase you guys, some calling things that you guys can implement for yourselves. Obviously, you guys can go back and watch the recording. Like Nick said, we aim to do this, at least once a month for you guys. And I like it to be very essentially like, this is what's going to make you guys money. So anything that we can do to continue providing value to you guys, just let us know. We'll be more than happy to implement it. And yeah, we can go ahead and sign off for today, guys.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Can I have a short question?
Yeah, of course.
How are you, Francisco?
I'm doing good.
We just met before.
Yes, sir. Nice to see
you. With your comps, do you consider the zoning code? Like if you have a land, like you do it like per acre, but if the land is agriculture or if it's residential, I think the price will be different. So how you take that in your consideration in the comps?
100%. So yeah, I definitely will compare the lots that are similar. And I want to make sure, 1, they're similar in size. I wouldn't go past anything more than 2 to 5 acres out. And then I'll definitely want to make sure that they're both the same zoning.
Okay, so you check the zoning before you put the number, and your comp is almost like you do it as the same zoning for all the comps that you do?
Yeah, I'll take the zoning into consideration. And most of the time, if they're within the same area, most of the time they'll have the same zoning. But yeah, I would definitely double check the zoning of the comps that you're looking at just to make sure you're not comparing apples to oranges.
Right.
Awesome. Great.
Thank
So I
you.
know we went over a little bit, guys, but hopefully you guys got a ton of value from today's call. And again, we look forward to, having more of these calls with you next week, I believe. Let me see. Let me just double check. Next week on the 6th, we're going to be having a special guest on tomorrow that has done a lot of cool things in the land space. So he'll be another cool individual for you guys to learn from as well too. So yeah, super excited for that. All right,
Hey,
guys. So,
Francisco, this is Carla. How do I send this link to someone? Can you have my phone number? Can you text it? I met some people that hadn't heard of Lead Mining Pro, and I
yeah,
want to share.
yes. What we'll do is, I believe Nick has a link where people have to like sign up in order to like be a part of these calls and things of that nature. So
Okay.
I'll work on getting that link for you, so you can send it out to them, and then that's what sends the email reminders and things of that nature. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. All right, guys. Well, have a good Tuesday. Have a good rest of your week. Continue going out there, talking to those crazy sellers, putting them offers out, and have a good rest of your day, guys. All right.